Hey guys, it's Alex here from Let's Play 40K. Today I just wanted to give you guys a tutorial on how I painted this building here for my urban decay board. It is the nice middle building that was gray in the center. And it looked like this in this picture right here. It was the only building that I had left to finish off actually. So now my urban board is finally completed. Here it's just the building on a Rust-Oleum gray primer. It's the primer I generally use the most. I find it works a lot better than any of the blacks or the whites. I actually had the building years ago, I primed it, just never got a chance to do it. So here I am with a gunmetal from Vallejo Air, fine detail brush, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the trimming around a lot of the windows and things like that. One of the reasons why I generally prefer Vallejo Air paint is because it's very smooth and fluent. Here I am with a gray. I'm just going to paint the steel rimmings around the bases of the building. So here's what it looks like once that's done. Then I'm going to take some bronze from Vallejo Air as well, give it a good shake obviously, and going to paint the edges of the Aquila and any other bronze detail. So there's some smaller insignias of Aquilas. And I do apologize for some of the camera angles. I realize that they're not always in focus and they're not always in the center of the camera, but I will definitely learn that from next time and make that a lot more fluid. So here I am with the Steel Legion drab, and I'm going to use it almost as a wash and just paint these skulls that are on the building. Now I'm using a Terminata stone and I'm going to finish off those skulls. Now very carefully with a Vallejo Air white, I will be painting one of each of the wings of the Aquila. So one will be white and one will be a separate color coming up in a bit. You just have to be really careful when you're using a white, just so it doesn't smudge. So here I am doing one of my secret textures, which is mixing a gunmetal and a black using a makeup sponge actually. I'm going to essentially use it as a rough dry brush and I'm going to put it on the edges of some of the terrain features. So here's what it looks like after it's been weathered essentially. You can see it's not fully complete yet, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dry rust wash from Vallejo. Using the same weathering effect we just did, I will be adding that onto the gray bolts and things like that. Next I'll be using gray stone sepia and washing the scroll using a old wash brush I have. So next, using the same gray we used earlier, I will be painting the opposite of the Aquila wings. I feel like it looks quite nice between the two, but it didn't look weathered enough at the time. So what I did after that is I took a few washes to it that you'll see in a few minutes. However, while waiting for the gray to dry, I took a umber wash to the scrolls that are on the side of the building using an old wash brush. And then after that, I took the umber wash, I placed it randomly throughout the building itself and actually smudge it with my finger, giving it a worn look on certain areas more than others, preferably on the walkways and on the stepping stones. I find this technique is quite good for blending these washes together, especially if you don't have an airbrush. So now I'm taking the Mechamite Red, which is an old Games Workshop paint. I am placing it on the screens as well as an old Ultramarine Blue, I believe it is. And I chose these two colors just to give a little bit of variation between the dark colors, the grays and the browns, throughout the rest of the board. And here's the washes that I was talking about earlier for the insignias and the Aquila. So here's the gray stone sepia going over top. And then after that, it is followed by a Vallejo's dark rust paint. This just gave it a weathered effect just to match it to the board a little bit more. It looked a little bit too shiny, a little bit too pristine compared to the war-torn urban board itself. So here's what it looks like when it's completed. I feel it came out quite nice. Could have been done a little bit timelier and maybe with a little bit more variation. However, I was on a little bit of a tight line. So here's the rest of the picture and I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys like this tutorial. If there's any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you like what I'm doing here, hit a like. Be sure to subscribe. And if there's anything else you guys want to see or anything I can improve on, just send me a message in the comments down below and we'll go from there. Alright, take care guys. Bye.